Hello, my very dear Aries. I'm doing the reading for the week of November 24th. And as I started asking who was going to come up next, it was Aries. And immediately after that, I saw a cowboy on a horse out on the Great Plains of the United States. I say United States because it's a Western cowboy. And that's the stereotype of it, but it could be any country, right? And it could also be Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and it won't be for everybody. I'm looking around as I'm watching this cowboy, and he's got his arms folded on his horse, kind of like that, and his hat tips down, and he's just the horse is just kind of sauntering along like this, moving forward, east to west. Now, as I'm asking Spirit, what's the relevance of that, I'm also realizing that they're not leading a wagon train necessarily. And they're not, okay, I get it, thank you. They're not leading a wagon train. They are a scout for a wagon train. They're not moving cattle. It is people. So what does this mean? What this means is, my dears, is that you might feel like you're on your own in a situation or in relation to events that are going on with other people. You might feel kind of isolated or set back from the group or from the person that's involved. And that there's this quality of almost as though you're okay with that because you're not frantically looking around. You're just sitting there on your horse and you're letting the horse take the lead. You're not worrying about where you're going. And you're not looking at the people that are behind you. They're coming at their own pace. You're just the scout. So if I look at this symbolically, for me, what this says is whoever you're involved with, you are the one who is being the forward thinker. You are the one who has maybe struck out on your own. In this vision, in this view I'm seeing, it's almost irrelevant that there's somebody behind you. What's been important is that you have gone on ahead. You have made tracks to expand. The reason I'm saying expand is because it's from east to west, and that historically was what the expansion of the population looked like in the United States. I believe in Canada as well, in the North American continent, very much from east to west. And the feeling with that is this. While you may still have a sense of connection to the people that are on the wagon train way back there, you're not actually really concerned about whether or not they follow you. There is that sense of you've made the decision to try a new trail, and you've been willing to do it on your own. You've been willing to just say, you know what? I'm not going to try to drag anybody with me. I might have in the past. I might have felt I needed to take the lead on the horse that was leading the wagon train to just pull it along with me, but not anymore. Now I'm sitting here and I'm doing this trail. I'm exploring, I'm expanding. I don't necessarily know where I'm going. I don't have an exact idea of what things are going to look like when I get there. But I do know I needed to separate myself a little bit so that I could get, I'm hearing a lay of the land. But a lay of the land, this could mean two different things. This could mean relating to something very specific, the lay of the land around a new situation coming up, or it could just be the lay of the land internally in terms of your own personal spirit. And I feel like it has to do with, for some of you, it is going to be very much, you are learning to experiment, to understand how you can be your own hero. You're trying something different. You're trying something new. You're experimenting to see what it is that you can move towards that's going to be good for you. And when I say good for you, I could say fulfilling, but it feels good for you. And as I'm saying that, what it feels like is this is you taking care of your own self. This is you being your own hero. This is you surrendering into the situation as it is without necessarily giving up on it, but having the courage to let it be what it is and not have it prevent you from being able to take steps that are towards your own well-being. Not always easy for you because you do have a tendency to want to take care of things around you. And part of that is just because you really don't always like to be out of control. But okay, the choose card just fell out. So again, this is about you learning to make choices for your own good. Even if the people back at the caravan seem to be having a good time, you might be looking at them going, oh my goodness, I can't deal with that. That is just like whatever. Whoever's guiding that caravan, whoever's leading that's got to be them. They just got to do their thing. I'm not going to be trying to change it. I won't necessarily abandon them. They're going to know where I am, but I've got to do this for me. Now, I also think it's very interesting. Oh, and there you go. Sorry, not sorry. This is about you not feeling on some level. It's not just the actual apologizing, but it's that sense of you no longer have to make your choices, fearing that, sorry, cancel the fearing part. You no longer have to make your choices. You are no longer willing to make your choices based on the possibility that you might end up feeling as though people are going to think you should have to apologize for them. This is about you really, really being your own hero, okay? This is about you really standing for yourself. Now, you have stood for yourself in the past in many ways. You haven't always stuck to it, however. You've sometimes tried to change things for the better, for ways that would make you happier, more content, for your good. But it hasn't always been possible because that's a rowdy caravan back there, and sometimes they just want to do things their own way. So now it's like, you don't have to say sorry for I'm doing this. You just can go, you be you, I'll be me. You do you, I'll do me. And that's kind of what it feels like with this. I need another one from there. You're being asked to remember that in the process of this, that there is divine guidance here for you, and that especially for those of you who are really working with the idea of expanding your consciousness and your connection to source, and your inner spirituality, your inner wisdom, to please remember that whatever you're dealing with in terms of people is that there is divine force, divine energy very much with you on this route. I kind of feel like your horse is your I don't want to say your protection guide, but I feel as though your horse is really symbolic of the power that you have to be able to move forward with this and to move into things, as I said, that are more for your good, that you actually have something bigger than you, stronger than you, that is carrying you through this. And I think that's a very key point of this message. The discipline card comes up, but the discipline card, again, it's very interesting, and I'd forgotten that phrase on it. Discipline can also be a choice to regulate a behavior that has become unhelpful to us, or to establish a behavior that enhances our sense of joy, freedom, and well-being. And that's the well-being card. Aries, I feel like this is a really good time for you. I feel like for those of you who have already started stepping into that new way of being and using your inner power that way, this is fantastic. And for those of you who are moving towards it, because we're all on different timelines, in terms of when we evolve and what steps, what the process is, what that wonderful pinball machine of our expansion looks like. What you're being asked really is to start making sure that you're looking at what your choices are and getting in touch with what that feels like so that you can choose the ones that are really supporting your sense of taking care of yourself and being your own hero. And also that when you start questioning your choices about whether or not they're good or not good, think about God being head over heels in love with you. And if you knew that God was head over heels in love with you and absolutely wanted the best for you, how would that influence your choices? If you knew that God was totally going to just applaud you for taking care of yourself and really support you in that. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that, Aries. Take care.